Woo! Oh, what's going on? It is team profile and projection season here on Talkin Baseball. An episode a day, every day until opening day. We had our audience rank every team from first to worst, and we're going worst first here on the show, and that is your 2023 Nationals.
Oh.
The team from the capital ranked the worst in all of baseball. And I don't think I've thought about these guys all offseason. So I'm excited to catch up as well. Jake, could you tell us what they did this offseason?
And these TPPs are brought to you by SeatGeek. Code Talkin, $20 off your first order with SeatGeek. Jim, Trev is pissed. He does not have the Nationals as his last-ranked baseball team this year because they added his guy, Jeimer Candelario, from the Tigers to play a little hot corner. Stone Garrett from My Snakes. Dom Smith. That's actually a fun one. That could be a nice little, what do you call that? Resurgence, something like that. Trevor Williams eating some innings. Corey Dickerson, see some dick in the Capitol this year. And then some minor league deals. Chavis, you know he'll find a way. Matt Adams, some other dudes. They lost Nelson Cruz. How about that? Mutual option declined. See you, man. Eric Fetty, he's gone. He went overseas. He's in Korea. Not Dos Perea, but Trace Perea. He's gone. Cesar Hernandez at second. Steve Cishek retired. Will Harris is unsigned. Luke Voigt gone. Joe Ross, Anibal Sanchez, D. Strange Gordon, Alcides Escobar. So, a lot of guys that were around the Nats for a little while. Has the team feeling a little different this year? And Trev, what's the lineup look like? Top to bottom, farm to table.
This is probably my 25th ranked team. I don't know about 30, but I love our fans. This is what they got.
High.
I kind of like the lineup. I'm not saying they're going to go out there and win the NL East, but there's some fun people in this lineup. We're going to start off with Lane Thomas, and he's going to play all over the place. They kind of think highly of this dude. They think he made some strides last year. He'll be in the outfield somewhere. CJ Abrams, very electric. I think he's slotted to have the most WAR on the season this year. Can play a hell of a shortstop. Got to get the bat going a little bit. And then my guy, Joey Meneses, will be DH. We all saw what he could do last year. Hoping for a repeat of that. Kybert Ruiz, catcher from the Dodgers, and that deal with Scherzer and Turner. And then Corey Dickerson, former teammate of mine, he'll be in the outfield, probably left field. Jeimer Candelario, like you mentioned, he'll be at third base. Luis Garcia at second base. Then Dom Smith will take over at first. You're right. We're looking for a resurgence out of him. Maybe get back to basics, Dom. I think he's going to have a good year. And then Victor Robles will be in center field, and that's their 1 through 9. On the bench, we got other catcher, Riley Adams, Alex Call, Stone Garrett, like you mentioned, and then Vargas is kind of like their utility dude on the bench. What about that rotation, James?
The rotation's exciting if you're into it. Josiah Gray, where's number 40? Came over in the Dodgers trade a couple years ago. You got Patrick Corbin, back-to-back most losses in MLB for him. 2 brutal years. So he's there. And you got Trevor Williams, Cade Cavalli, Mackenzie Gore also came over in a trade last year, 22nd. Yeah, so that's their rotation. I mean, I don't know, not names you know, but I don't know if you know them for perfect reasons right now. It's
They're
kind of
young.
anticipatory.
They're young.
Yeah, I mean, Josiah Gray's young. He's been around. Mackenzie Gore is definitely young, and he was highly thought of. But
Cade Cavalli is one of their top prospects. Be interesting to see what pans out with him. I think that people are banking on him to be a stalwart there in the rotation.
Prospects probably the way to go here on this conversation. They are tied for the most in the top 100 or tied for second most in the top 100, which is great because I think they weren't looking good on that front for a little bit, but the 2 returns from the Soto trade, they're in the top 100, and then they got Their draft pick, I think their 5th round pick last year, he pops into the top 100. And they got James Wood, who right now is the 9th overall ranked prospect. Do they have Soto's brother in the system still?
They just signed him.
Okay.
Just signed him like a couple
made
weeks
it
ago.
They just made it official?
I think he's a Ute. And they have the second pick in the draft.
Well, Soto came up at 18, so, his brother might come up at 17.
He'll come up at 17 in 364
I think
days.
that's what you're watching. If you're a Nationals fan, you just maybe you don't. You know what I would if I was a Nationals fan, knowing it's going to be a tough year, grab one of the top 3, the Braves, the Phillies, the Mets in your division, and make them your bitch. Just one of them.
Torture them.
Lose to everyone else. This is what the Baltimore Orioles used to do when they were like the worst in the AL East. They would grab one of the top 3 and just ruin their season and be like, hey, it used to be 18 or 19 games against you. We're going to win 12 of those. That's what the Nationals need to do. Just spoiler on one of the top 3. You're not going to be able to take them all down. Which team's got the most righties? Because they got so many lefty bats in their lineup. Kind of weirded me out. I think 2 switch hitters and 4 lefties.
Like that.
Like a righty comes through. That's a lot of lefty bats.
This division is so tough, and I'm going back and forth whether that's good or bad for a team that's a couple years away from really competing. It was some young guys in the lineup, like a CJ Abrams, got to get the bat going up against some of this pitching. Like, is iron going to sharpen iron? Is it going to kind of put these guys and they're going to say, dang, like, do we really belong here? That'll enter their mind throughout the year. So Corey Dickerson, even a Joey Meneses, some of these veteran guys are really going to have to say, look, you do belong here. Like, let's just make some strides these next couple of years. And then when we get into that window, let's go. Because they're going to get into a window with the top prospects coming up, with the draft picks they're going to have, some of these young guys they traded for. I think we're looking a couple of years down the road, but like I said, this team should not be 30th, and I do believe that there's some exciting ball players on here. So if you're a Nationals fan, you said you could make one team the B word. I'm not going to say that because I don't cuss this early in the morning. But
I didn't like saying it, to be honest with you.
It's pretty early. It's pretty early.
Just torture one.
I thought you'd put like a little accent on it or something.
Yeah,
like the little kids in
I
like
paused and gave it a
Talladega.
lot of thought, like think of a different word or dress this up in a funny way, and then I just rolled with it. But yeah, I didn't like it.
Okay.
Let's see what the kids do. And there's some good ball players on this team. I think there are going to be some times where we look at the Nationals, like, hey, did they just go on a 6-game heater, 7-game heater? I think we're going to see that from this team.
Yeah, Trev, I know you're high on these Nats, and I'm not fully sure why. Here's what I'll say. From a viewing standpoint, I think you're right. Like, I think we're going to come up on a couple other teams that we're like, oh, no. Like, if you're a Nats team, I mean, it's against you. Like, the Phillies, the Mets, and the Braves. This is why they came in last. Those are 3 of the best teams in baseball. The Marlins, we do our same Marlins chat every year, how they're wasting crazy talent on the pitching side and they don't have the rest of it. But now, Luis Arias. Anyways, there's young guys that you're excited for, like Lane Thomas. Let's see.
It's a tough name. Every time
it feels like a football name.
I want to say Lame Thomas.
It's
like
a
every
football
time
name.
I just want to go more like Lame Thomas.
Trev, your guy CJ Abrams, you know what we need to see? We need a couple walks. When he came over to the Nats in 44 games, he had 1 walk last year. So we're having like spring training all year. Like,
he's 22 years old.
Right. And that's fine. Like, turn into JP Crawford next year and then turn into a Hall of Famer the next year after that. Something like that. Luis Garcia playing second base. Name that Luis Garcia. He's 22. Like, Keibert Ruiz. Can this be a season where he jumps into like a top 10 catchers in baseball kind of situation? There's young guys around the field that you're excited for and you hope can be part of your future. I like Meneses and Dom Smith as like, what can Joey Meneses run it back? Can Dom Smith find it again with a true opportunity to play? And then like Jim mentioned with the pitchers, you're going to have 3 guys out there that you're hoping a couple of them can be part of a 2025 Nationals team that we're talking about with some real hope attached to it. So I think we're going to come up on a couple teams that we're going to be like, yo, play your young guys. The Nats have no excuse to not play their young guys. They're going to play their young guys. And like Jimmy was saying with a lot of their prospects, I think you might see a couple this year. Robert Hassel III's got a chance. Cole Henry says he's got a chance. It looks like there's going to be guys this year, and there's guys lined up for like 2026. So I wonder if they can get on the right track by 2025 or so, do those other guys then become the trade pieces to make a competing Nats team in the future? Or if the rebuild doesn't get there, are we talking about a second rebuild? And now I'm starting to lose Nats fans.
You start a second rebuild?
A second 2026 rebuild. I don't think that's what Nats fans want to hear right now.
I am Nats fans. You lost me right there.
Good.
Oh, over under 59.5 wins. Ooh. That's what DraftKings has the win total at. I think we should try to say over under right now on 3. Ready?
Go.
1, 2, 3.
Under.
Over.
Of course.
You love these.
Why
Nats.
do you like them? Just because of
because what Jake just said. I think they're going to give these young guys opportunities, okay? And they brought in some people that can help the ball club out a little bit. I mean, that starting pitching has to improve, or maybe it doesn't. They were like 30th in baseball in most of the categories that we're looking at. I think they're going to improve a little bit. I want to see let the kids play. They're going to do it. And I think they have some special talent on the field. That's all I'm saying. They're in a tough division. They're not going to be in the playoffs this year. Nats fans are fine with that. But I think you can go to a ball game and have some fun watching these kids play. I really do.
Jim, one of your favorite names in baseball might be a AAA come-up starting pitcher for another. Joan Adone.
Jonah what?
Joan Adone.
Doan?
Joan Adone.
Oh, no. Jonah Doan.
Yeah, you got it.
What are his parents' names?
Bone and Phone.
I went to The Athletic and ESPN to find what the most recent articles are on the Nationals. Like if there's any like biting tidbit that we don't know. Almost nothing.
Yeah.
They're making no noise.
Yeah.
The only thing I got here is a headline, a national scout's advice to prospect Elian, how do you say his Soto? Elian?
Elian Soto?
Elian.
I think so.
Elian Soto. Don't try to be one.
Yeah.
That's the
good.
biggest news story we have.
That's good.
Scout said, Juan is Juan. You are Elian. Is it Elian? Like Juan? Because that's fun. Juan and Elian.
Yeah.
Like a little rhyme. Juan could possibly earn more than enough money to support both of you for your whole life. Just be yourself.
Just do you.
You got to fall back, bro.
Yeah.
If you fail, your brother's got you. That's the top story.
Don't even grind extra hard. Like you're good if you need it.
He turned down $50K from the Mets and got $220 from the Nationals. So good move.
Whoops.
Good move. Yeah, there's nothing really here. Dom Smith, I'd like him to tear it up against the Mets and his old stomping grounds.
Okay.
That'd be a
That's
fun
nice.
storyline. And I'd like take one team, dominate them. Also, crush righties. Like if there's what's your term for an average white righty? Is that it?
AWR.
Let's have the Nationals be a hell hole for AWRs, which is their entire bullpen. I think they don't have a lefty in their pen. So
That's the plan.
how about that? All righty pen, all lefty batting order.
I've got one other thing that you're hoping for this year. There's a couple guys. You could even go Michael Chavis. They have a little bit of a graveyard of kind of former prospects. Franklin Barreto was a guy in the A's for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Carter Keyboom in their own system.
That's also a good name.
Great name. He's kind of been missing for a little while. I need one more, kind of a Joey Meneses from last year, but a little less Joey Meneses. One of these former guys who's 26 or 27, I want to be talking about them on next year's TPP. Like, hey, Carter Keyboom actually ran it for 100 games, and he looked nice this year. I think the Nats need one of those.
Could be Jeter Downs.
Yeah.
You remember, I got my hands on that guy when he was with the Dodgers a little bit. He should have listened to me a little bit more. But, hey, I hope he has a breakout year, too.
I think Lucius Fox, the former slapdick prospect from the Snell video.
What are we just doing names? How about Stone Garrett if you're doing names? He ended the season awesome, not awful. Let's have him keep going. His
Snakes, baby.
Yeah.
He looks like someone that could just beat the SHIT out of you. I looked at his baseball reference page last night to prep for this episode, and I was like, I don't want to fuck with that guy.
Yeah, I just remember the name. We're doing names. Stone Garrett is his middle name, but he goes by
So
it.
good name.
you
It's a
have
good name.
to.
He's got a
You
lot of
have
good
to when
names.
you
You
look
got
like
Stone
him, you're a
available.
pro.
Because otherwise he'd be Greg Garrett.
Yes, that's such a different vibe. Greg Garrett's an accountant. Stone Garrett's a pro baseball
You
player.
beat up Greg Garrett, Stone Garrett pummels you.
I mean, that's how good the Nats are. I
Sneaky
pivoted to a
two
new
first
team.
names, Greg Garrett.
Lamaro Vargas on
Greg
that team.
Garrett ain't great. Stone's on. You made the right move, kid. You made the right move.
Have fun out there.
Anything else, Trev?
Go Nats, go.
Big time.
Thanks for tuning in. You guys know your team better than us, so let us know what we missed.
What'd we miss?
A lot, probably. They were like, you missed this and that and this and that. And we're like, well, you pay.
I'm locked in on the Nats.
We said more than some diehard Nats fans know because they're tuned out.
I'm
Nice
all over the
ballpark.
Nats.
Sean Doolittle, non-roster invite, taking that lefty role.
NRI. Actually, I think he's making a righty comeback.
Talking baseball.
Nice hat.
Sean Doolittle, thank you.